welcome back. In this lesson, I'm going to continue my cleaned up version of my layout, or at least, maybe this is going to be, I think this might be the last pass. It seems to be coming along fine. So as you can see, I'm now working on the front of this house. I just want to finish off the steps. And again, talking about that three-dimensionality that we were talking about in the previous lesson, I'm making sure that, these planks have structure and they feel like, they're not just lines on the page. They actually feel very 3D and solid. I'm starting to put in tiny details now of this to make sure that it reads properly. So that's a kind of a support underneath the planks. Post underneath this that is supporting the kind of platform in front of the door. And underneath here, the ground level is coming down. This is going to be all snow anyway, so I don't need to get any details in there. But now I want to draw the steps. So the way I approach drawing steps, which can be tricky, especially, in something like a 2-point perspective, I always tend to think about the top plane of the step first. So what I'll do is draw out the kind of rectangle for the top of the step. And then draw the sides of it down like this. Now I'll just draw in a few posts at the back there that are going to be supporting these steps. And then I'll draw my second one. And there you can see, if I turn off the rough drawing, kind of looks fine. I mean, it's probably not, like, from an engineering perspective, the most, stable of steps. But I think for this drawing, that works really well. And at least, as I said, it looks like it's a solid structure. Now on this second house back here, I have in mind quite a complex shape for the two posts that are supporting the roof. I want them to be in the shape of a carved dog or wolf or hound of some kind. If I draw it in a regular, side-on view, just to show you what I mean, it's going to look a little bit like this. And drawing it roughly out like this is helping me to visualize the shape of it. So this is going to be like the wolf's head and the jaws open like this. And the idea is that this is a very roughly hewn wooden turrety, or I don't know what you would call it, like a gargoyle-y type of a thing. But I still want it to read clearly. So yeah, so it's going to look like that, but it's going to be angled up and it's going to be in 2-point perspective, which sounds really, really difficult to do, but I think it's going to be easy. And yeah, that works. That's pretty much going to read as it's going to read as a wolf's head that's been carved into a plank of wood. Put it that way. I'm trying to think in terms of blocks that are built on top of each other. And just having that in, if you can visualize that, it goes a long way to helping you draw it. And then I'll just fly through the rest of the house. You don't have to watch me do it step by step, I don't think, but And then this is going to be my straw roof coming down. This roof goes all the way to the ground just to vary up the shape of the houses. A good tip is to try and have kind of contrast and variance in your designs, so it's not all the same. Each house is slightly different. That's going to make your drawing or make your layout or your background look very interesting and visually pleasing. And here are the steps. Again, I'm changing up the steps for this one. I don't want it to be the exact same as the previous house, but I'm approaching it in the exact same way. Draw each of the steps by kind of drawing the top plane first and then giving it that structure for the sides.